Here I'm showing you my painting station. The table is called a tabaret. It has wheels, and you can extend the sides of it here, and you can't really see it here. Let's see if I can help you see it here and here. So I can make it smaller if I wanted. So I could bring this down. See that? I can bring this down. I won't do it now because I'm holding the camera. Or I can bring this down here. Here's my palette. I was just painting, and so it's still all dirty. But it's a good practice to scrape all that and wipe it down with turpentine. I'm painting with oils. Let's see. This, who recognizes this? You recognize this? Anybody who's ever painted a wall in their house knows what this is. It's for the paint rollers. But I like it because I can cover that like so. And I can also put this this palette in here, go in the garage and start pouring some turpentine and washing it. It's a really handy little thing. And I've got other items here. Just kind of want to do a quick overview. The radio shouldn't be here. I should get rid of the radio, put it somewhere else. Chords. It's not a good idea to have a bunch of chords. You know, I try to be sparse with the chords. Let's see. And this is something that you would want to get. This has a little spring inside the jar, and it kind of goes like that. And you rub your brushes up against it, and there's turpentine in there, and so you need one of those. And this is some medium, paint medium, Merage. I think I pronounced that wrong. And it's an oil painting medium. Clove oil. Smells nice, actually. It keeps your paints from drying too fast. You mix them in the paint with a palette knife. And you want one of these little things. Little ceramic bowl. I put my paint medium in there, and I can mix. It looks like I'm a messy painter, but really, you know, you have to have your own thing going, and you know where everything is. It works for me. Paint brushes. When I paint, I'll be painting, you know, well, maybe one brush at a time would help. I'll be painting on this painting here, and then while I'm working, I need to put my brush down and get another brush. I just tend to go like this. So you can see that this brush means that it's been used. These are clean and not used. So eventually after a session I'll have like something like this at the end of a session. Then I'll just grab those and I'll go to the sink and wash the brushes. And then I put them back over here. This is like kind of a makeshift setup, you know. Maybe I can get a better one when I get a bigger studio. I used to have a big studio when I was going to school, and then when I graduated from school I had a studio in Tempe at a place called the Flight Zone. And it's by the Four Peaks Brewery, microbrewery. And so I had my own studio. I was able to make bigger paintings and a bigger mess. Here it's not the case. And here's my paints, oil paints, Winsor Newton. They're pretty good. And Grumbacher. And I have a couple of Rembrandts. I know I see here's a Rembrandt here. And there's a Soho brush there. And this here is a little jar. You get these jars at your local art store, and you mix stuff in them. So here, I think it's like, I'm gonna say, it contains 3 ingredients: Damar varnish, stand oil, and turpentine. And you mix the the amounts that you want with the say the Damar varnish and the turpentine and the stand oil. If you add less stand oil, more Damar varnish, it's more tacky. You know, if you have like less turpentine, it's more tacky. You have more turpentine, and you have less Damar varnish, it's less tacky. But if you have more stand oil, you'll give it a type of body to give it some kind of you know, body to it, so it's not too liquidy. It's more of a thick, soupy kind of consistency. So you have to work it out, like, you know, 2 parts turpentine, 1 part Damar varnish, 1 part stand oil. You know, I think that's what this contains. So 2 parts turpentine, 1 part stand oil, 1 part turpentine. I'm sorry, 2 part turpentine, 1 part stand oil, and 1 part Damar varnish. Waste basket to throw stuff in. I have, if you notice over here, I have this tin paint can. I went to the hardware store and I bought this paint can. And it's for people who want to mix paints and they put their house paints in there. I use it as a garbage can for any kind of cloth that has turpentine in it. I even if I just dabbed my cloth and it got in contact with some paint and turpentine. The reason why is because there's old stories of studios catching fire, because if you have like turpentine drenched cloths like this, and even in something like that, it can catch fire, they say. So it's like, so that's why, number 1, I have it in a metal container. Number 2, I have a cap on it, so the oxygen won't, you know, contribute to a potential fire. I have other stuff, but we don't have to talk about it. French easels back here, big easel, some paintings that I'm working on, and I'm in a huge experimental state right now. I was more or less traditionally trained with drawing and painting. I'm highly representational. I've always called myself a realist, and then I got into fantasy art and surrealism, and this here is considered abstract. I'm just exploring, and I can talk a lot about it, but I'll just try to keep this short. So here is my most recent painting, and I think it's done. And I don't have a name for it. What do you see in it? Do you see anything interesting? I can tell you right now, that's a moon, upside down. Big red moon. Looks like a water current on the upper left. Kind of creates a horizon, and maybe it's a reflection of a scene. And this is a river or a stream, and everything is just kind of passing by, and the moon's from behind. It's again, it's up to the viewer. And then we have this one here, and I have another one waiting to go. So this technique, let me grab it. And I used some high-end spray paint. Actually, this might have been Liquitex, like the manufacturers for acrylic paint, but they also have spray paint, and so I used black for that. I forget exactly what kind of a black that is. Maybe some kind of a, you know, jet black. I think it's called jet black or something on the can. So, and here's an easel, of course. Let's see. Art bins, T-square, and an apron, and a light, and a chair to sit down. This chair is pretty cool. I got this from Flight Zone. You can tell it's pretty old-fashioned looking, but you could adjust the height of this chair. It's pretty cool. All right, I just wanted to show you my current painting station, and let me pull out like this, and then I'll conclude this video.